Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, and my golden audience. Welcome to our Happy Life show. Today, I'm so honored and have the opportunity of two of the greatest motivators in Richmond, Virginia, to join my show tonight. I'm excited, I'm thankful, and I'm telling you, it is going to be a great show. The first guest is Shirley T. Burke. I don't think we need a lot of special introduction about Shirley T. She is one of the most beautiful queen that she can motivate anyone to improve themselves.
I love Mr. Chin. I'm going to follow you every week, Mr. Chin.
Keith is a new friend, and he told me once, Keith Harrison is his name, and he told me I'm one of the most positive person. I'm always think positively. After I listened to him, that's exactly who he is. A very positive person, and he can turn a negative impact into a positive outcome. And I love his philosophy. So tonight, we have two of the greatest motivational speakers that I know of to join me. How can I be unhappy tonight? I'm really happy. Welcome, Keith.
Thank you.
And Shirley T, I'm so honored having you.
Thank you, Mr. Chin.
When you walk into the room, you not only brighten up the stage, you're brightening up the whole room.
Thank you.
And you put
That's
a smile
wonderful
on my face.
Thank
and I
you.
thank you so much. And thank you for both coming.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank, most importantly, to our audience to join our show tonight. We are talking about a very interesting topic. Book sense, common sense, and strict sense. I think we all heard about all of those things before, but we want to talk about it a little bit more deeper today. I think it will be entertaining, and I hope that you feel that you can be part of our conversation. First of all, Shirley T, would you mind to tell us a little bit about you, and also why you're so happy and so energized and want to help people?
Well, one of the reasons I'm energized tonight is I just got through teaching.
Okay, yeah.
I just got through teaching aerobics at Victory Related Fitness, and I'm always energized. You can't move and be depressed.
Right.
You cannot move and be depressed. And I think I use it as my Prozac. Exercise is my Prozac. Mm-hmm. If you're down and out, all you have to do is move.
Okay.
Yeah, all you have to do is move. But I think I've been this way all my life, Mr. Chin. I've always been one who always looked for the brighter side.
Right.
Because I met so many people that was on the other side. And it's been my gift to encourage people. When I was in high school, I remember the guys came to me and said, Shirley, if you hadn't said that and so, I would never have graduated from high school. I don't know what I said, but I've had too many people to say that to me that it has mattered what I said. So that's one reason that I do what I do. You know you mattered, because I just feel I'm born to do what I do.
Well, that's why you're the queen of the city.
But I work with and teach women and men on how to feel better in their business suit as well as their birthday suit. It's about self-esteem, and I consider myself a thought shifter, not changer, but shifter, a thought shifter. I'm a self-esteem enhancer, and I'm a professional encourager, and my encouragement comes from going through tough times.
Okay.
That's why I'm a professional encourager. If I can come through the things that I came through, I feel other people can make it too. Absolutely,
absolutely. Well said and well done. Keith, you told me that you have a quick, strict sense. And since then, I keep thinking, it's so important about strict sense. And tell me, what do you think about the difference between a book sense and a strict sense?
Okay. Book sense. What's ironic is I went looking for a definition for book sense online.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't find one.
Of course.
But book sense, so what I did is I took a poll of people around me and asked them, well, what do you think book sense is? What do you think book sense is? The common consensus was being able to learn but not being able to apply what you've learned.
I like that.
That was the common thought of book sense.
Book sense. So what are you saying is that the book sense is what the facts stored in our mind as part of our knowledge. Knowledge is book sense.
It's knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
It's formal education.
All
It's
right.
book sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
if that's the case, may I comment on common sense then?
Sure.
Maybe we use some of the knowledge that we may have to apply to our daily life. That may be part of our common sense, the application of our knowledge.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Because there is a definition for common sense.
Okay, I would like to listen to it.
Being able to achieve a result without formal training.
Without formal training. How to react to a situation without formal training. So it's like facing obstacles, situations, you can make your decision quickly.
Yeah,
And apply that would be your common sense.
Something like that. For instance, let's say you come to a fork in the road. You look down the fork in the road, you look to the left, everything's bright and sunny. You look to the right, it's dark and forlorn. Go to the left. That's common sense.
All right.
That's common sense.
A lot of people go to the other side.
They'll
though.
go to the wrong way.
They
Go the wrong way.
side.
So then
And they don't
Without
even
the
know
common
it
sense.
either. That's a lot of people don't even know it.
Right.
That's the direction they take.
How about street
Street
sense?
sense?
That is your cup of tea, isn't it? Your
Well,
expertise.
street sense is allowing or functioning off of your intuition, following your gut feeling
Okay.
is street sense. Or another definition that was given to me, street sense is the ability to survive regardless of your situation.
Oh,
School of Hard Knocks, huh?
Hey, been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Yes, I do.
yeah, we had to disclose that quote, though. Who gave you that quote?
Oh, yeah, I got to tell it. Thank you, Mr. Chin.
Well, what a good thing. I like to take the credit.
For instance, my story. Wow. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey.
I couldn't tell.
From the
your
projects. You couldn't tell from the accent?
I couldn't
I try to cover it up every chance I get. I grew up in the projects. And I've lived, if you ever saw the show Good Times, when the social worker was coming
Yeah.
and they had to hide everything, I've lived that. That's a true story in my life. But I've realized that, or I was taught, that I don't have to be a product of my environment.
Right. So true.
So I'm blessed to be where I am right now.
Well, very truthful. Very truthful. Well, I heard a story not long ago. And I want to illustrate from the story what common sense and good sense meant to me. Would you like to listen to the story?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, a couple in their 60s went to a little restaurant, candlelights, very romantic, to celebrate their 40th anniversary.
Okay.
They have such a great time, holding hands, looking at each other faithfully, happily. It was so touching. There comes the little Ginny. She fly and dance in front of them on the table. They all have a wonderful time. And the Ginny asked them, since you are such a beautiful individual and couple, I would like to grant you each a wish to help you to celebrate your special night and special date of the 40th happy anniversary. They both were excited, and after thinking for a while, the lady said, well, I always want to take my husband for a trip around the world. Oh, okay. The genie thought for a little moment. Poop! There's 2 around the world Queen Elizabeth cruise tickets in her hands. She was so excited, so happy. Ah, thanks so much. And they all excited and happy. Then the little genie asked the man, it's your turn. And what would be your wish of this special day? And the man thought about it for a moment, and knowing that his wife's wish came true. And he said, this is one of the lifetime thing can happen to me. And this is real. And all my wish is that, yes, I want to go around the world with a lady, but my wish would be 30 years younger than me. Uh-oh. Wife started having tears in her eyes, and Ginny was unhappy. She stopped dancing. But you know what? A wish is a wish. So the little Ginny said, I'm going to grant you your wish. And poof! This man became 30 years older.
Careful.
So he got his wish. Now, the common sense told me that if he is a man with wisdom, have a little book sense, or at least have some strict sense, he would not make that mistake. Because first of all, tonight is a special night. It's definitely not the night to break your loved one's heart. Well, I'm not saying any day is a good day, but especially tonight. But the other thing that he made a mistake is that the Ginny is also a female.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
You put both of them there.
I forgot what he was dealing with.
So the common sense did not serve him quickly. But the part that I like the most is the strict sense of the Ginny, because she turned a situation to favor to the lady, the underdog. Rather than to make that lady younger than 30 years, she made this man 30 years older. So both wishes were granted, and he learned a lesson. Then now he want to wish that the lady, wife, going to love him for the next 30 years. He need more than ever now.
He better be wishing he'll live long to enjoy it.
So, and that little story that I heard not long ago, it gave me a true indication what strict sense meant. Because the Ginny really had that strict sense.
See, to me, the Ginny, you know, people say you think outside the box. The Ginny got out the box.
Out of the box.
She got
beyond the box.
She got out of the box. Not only thinking outside. A lot of people say, I think outside the box, but you got to get out of the box.
Get out of the box and think beyond the box.
Get out of the box. The Ginny got out of that box.
Right, for me. Really. And I think that is kind of wisdom that you want to share with us. Can you tell us a story that why Shiksen can help you to overcome your obstacles or maybe one of your problems?
Well, if you look at your life situations and where you are,
okay,
we are the culmination of our life's experiences. We are the sum total of everything that we've gone through. Now, through everything that we've gone through, adversity and good times, we learned something.
Yes.
The question is, which way are you going to go? Can I sit here and say, okay, here's an example. Man gets locked up from hanging out with the wrong people, victim of circumstance. He gets incarcerated. Now, while he's locked up in jail, he can sit there and he can say, woe is me, and wallow in the woe is me-ism, or he can take that opportunity to educate himself. Read a book, learn something about yourself. You know, I had a friend tell me that he told a guy that was locked up, he said, look right here. Every day you come in here and look, he said, you're going to see the same people sitting in front of the same TV every day at the same time. He said, so the question is this, what do you do? Do you take the opportunity to better yourself? Or do you wallow in a bad circumstance? Or do you take that, learn from it, and move forward?
Move forward, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we work with the women in prison, and
really?
We just had a graduation this past Saturday at Fluvanna Correctional Center. We have a 9-week program, and we had graduation Saturday, and I think we had like 30-some people graduate. And for some, it was the very first time they ever finished anything.
Wow.
Okay.
Anything. First time.
That's very touching.
Yeah, any
Very
first time
touching.
they'll finish anything. And we learn just as much from them as they learn from us. But at one graduation, one lady said, if I would run it through my mind before I run it through my mouth, I would be all right. And I had her to repeat that, and I wrote her name down, and I wrote that down, because that's how it is with a lot of people moving, speaking up at the wrong time, getting involved with the wrong folks at the wrong time, like you say, sitting in there looking at the TV where you could be taking a course. And they have courses in jail. They have books. They have libraries and stuff in there. So you always can, I tell them no matter where you are, you can be somebody.
Welcome to Happy Life.
Yes, well, good evening to y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Fine.
Doing well.
Thank you very much for calling us. And what's your name?
My name is Deborah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Calling from Richmond, Virginia. And I just wanted to give another scenario. I mean, what we're going through now, what the country is going through now,
Right.
is the fact that so many people are getting the pink slips, losing their jobs and everything. And when you know that someone has the power to say bye-bye, that you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. They should use this time that they're out to always have something on the side, because you never know. You never know whatever somebody gives you, they can always take it away.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to get that in when it comes to common sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all have a good night.
Well, I
You
want
too.
to
Thank
thank
you.
you. We all thank you for calling us, and you have a great night too. And I hope that you can continue to watch, and you're welcome to call us back, and we can come up with another thought.
Okay, thank you.
We thank you. We welcome you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good point. Good point.
Very
Very
good
good
point.
point.
That's why that I always appreciate what I already have.
Yes. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And the same story we just talked about this man, because he is not appreciate what he already have, and he asked for more. At the end, he got much less.
Because he was selfish.
He was selfish.
He was selfish.
So always appreciate what we already have.
So many people want what we would love to have what we got.
Exactly.
That's, it's amazing.
And
Life
envy
may-
is vicious.
Life may be difficult at times, but if we can understand our situation better, and if we cannot change the circumstances, we can walk away from the problems and prepare ourselves, improve ourselves, to look at things from different perspectives and angles, and come up with a best solution to improve our lives and the people who are around us.
Yes. And that's critical, because biblically also it says, like the more you have, the more you're responsible for doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And giving and service is critical.
Very much so.
It's critical. It's critical.
Right.
This is how the world changes. Because I believe in the power of one. I believe that I can make a difference. I believe that. And every day I get up with that thought. And people have said that, but I let them know they can too.
Right, everyone can.
Yeah, they can too. They do.
They do.
And they do. People, go ahead.
You want to say to them, what am I doing different than you can do? Anything that I can do, you can do.
Yeah.
That's right.
You just have to dig down deep, find it,
Yep.
and bring it out.
Bring it
Bring
out.
it
We
out.
all have it.
Yep.
We all have it.
And as
Absolutely.
you said, it's motivation.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
motivation comes from where?
Inside.
Within.
Internal.
Within.
Within.
Motivation
Our
comes from
happiness
within.
is also within.
Internal, yeah.
And I think both of you have read my book.
Oh, yeah.
And the path to a true happiness spelled out by our ancestors, not by Chin, not by me or at all. Our ancestors, by helping people with the age, we found happiness.
Yeah.
You can complete the rest.
Man,
Attitude.
Then you come with the attitude.
Yeah.
Patience,
Yeah.
passion,
Yeah.
believing ourselves, saying yes, we can. All those are great paths to find our own happiness. When you're in love, how can you be unhappy? When we improve ourselves one step each time, 1% each day with improvement, we always can find happiness.
Always.
And we understand life better. Life may not be fair to us, but we must be fair in life with that F. We find happiness. When we are continue to learn, like we do here now,
Right.
and we continue to share our experiences, like we are doing now, and we continue to teach with education, we all can find a lot of happiness.
Yes.
It is.
So all of those, the quick paths to find and live a happy life. It's a very simple principle. All we need to do just to remind ourselves.
And to what a lot of people I've found, they don't want to ask for help. Some happiness comes through support of others.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it's be professional or whether I see when I came to your restaurant, I saw a lot of people coming in chatting with you, and they were getting They were feeding their souls. They were feeding their souls.
Absolutely.
They were feeding their souls through what Mr. Chin shared.
That's right.
And a lot of people do that. You know, when somebody, you never know how you're affected. It can be just a small conversation. It doesn't mean anything to you, maybe, but to that individual that's having that conversation.
Meant so much.
Yes.
It could truly be the difference between life and death.
And life, death.
Life and
I had
death.
many experiences, you know, in the recent years since I wrote a book that, you know, I was able to change people's life every single day. And I received emails, phone calls, came to my restaurant and give me hugs and told me how my book and my messages is able to help them to overcome their obstacles and life difficulties.
You know, I just had a thought, and it goes back to attitude. And it leads into things. You watch your thoughts because they become your words.
Yes.
Watch your words because they become your actions. Watch your actions because they become your habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. Now,
your character is you.
And your character is you.
Yes.
Whether it's the real you
or
the you want to portray to everyone else. But your character is still you.
Yeah.
Very true.
But it all goes back to attitude.
Attitude.
And attitude comes from thought. We do nothing without a conscious thought.
Everything
we do
starts
takes
with
a
us
thought.
being here tonight is a thought. It was somebody's thought, and here we are.
The only thing that happens that doesn't come from thought, your heart beats and you breathe.
Yes.
anything past those two takes thought.
Yeah.
Takes thought.
Yeah.
Well, even sometimes that we are, you know, thinking that we know everything, it still takes thought.
That's true. I know everything. It took a thought to say that you know everything.
My husband says that some of us are educated beyond our intelligence. You understand?
That's a very strong statement.
Very strong statement.
Educated beyond your intelligence.
When he says that, you know,
Wow.
some of us are educated beyond our intelligence.
Wow.
So, you know how that
got
goes.
more education than you know how to apply.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what we are talking about today. Is about the book sense, how to apply our knowledge into our common sense and our strict sense so that we can be successful and overcome our obstacles. And that's why we need to share those experiences with our next generations and many generations to come.
You know, you're saying next generation, and when you were talking, I thought about what I heard this evening and what I have been saying a little bit to some people. Because of technology, our young people are very tough to reach. They are not interacting. They don't know how to talk to us.
That's
like
right.
This, you know,
They text.
They're texting. They don't, and so that means they say that girls learn more between 6 and 12 how to socialize, and stuff like that. They don't. When you say thank you, they don't know because the computer doesn't tell them that.
That's right.
They look at you strange.
Yeah.
So the generation coming up now, you wonder how they are going to. When you think of global.
You
know, how are you going to do globally? Because some other cultures
still respect manners and, you know.
Yes.
Our next generation is actually becoming impersonal.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Well, you know, that is one of my...
Crazy.
Yeah, that is one of my major objective and goal to write a book of Happy Life, to bring our lives back to the basics. You know, without our basics, basic skill, basic knowledge, knowing the love from the family within, and also educating us to starting using our mind at the young age.
Yes.
You know, and now today, you know, many times that we go to the grocery store, the cashier don't know how to give you a change back without.
So you got to you better count it.
Yeah, they forgot how to counting it.
No, they have to punch it in.
Yes.
In order to give you back the exact change.
In my pocketbook right now, I have something in a plastic bag with a receipt that was wrong. I have to take back to the store.
Exactly.
I got the same change they gave me and everything. It is wrong.
Yes.
It is wrong.
Well, those are the kind of things that we need to bring back to our society.
Yeah.
The common sense approach. As my book just written right here and said, common sense no longer common.
No, it's not.
Nope. It's almost a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Right here. Keith, can you read this to my audience?
Where we at? Right here?
Right here.
At the beginning of each section of the chapters, you will be introduced to each principle, as well as some ancient wisdom and modern philosophy that has guided my writing and my life. Some of these sayings may seem like common sense, but I have found that common sense is no longer common. You may have heard these principles before, but I aim to offer new perspectives on them. Each principle is illustrated with experiences from my own life. I hope that you can learn from my experiences by H, helping others, having a positive A, attitude, exercising P, patience, fostering P, passion, saying why yes, we can, learning to L, love, aiming for I, improvement, understanding F, fairness, and valuing E, education. You can define your own path towards a, quote, happy life.
Thank you, Keith.
Yep.
Thank you, Keith. I want to thank you for reading.
No
well,
problem.
the reason I want to share these messages with our audience is that happy life is within us. If I can achieve it, Sir T can achieve it, Keith can achieve it, every one of you can achieve it.
True statement.
It is all within ourselves. When you practice with those words by helping others, having a positive attitude, patient, passion, believe in yourself, saying yes can, sharing your love with your family and friends, continue to improve one little step each time, try to be fair with yourself and treat others the way that you want to be treated with fairness, and continue to learn and continue to teach, you can find happiness every single day.
Being grateful.
And be
Being
grateful and
I think
thankful.
it starts with appreciation. I think you said it earlier. Appreciating where you are now.
Already have.
Because I've learned that I've had some tough times, but I always met somebody else that had tougher.
Exactly.
I've always met
Very
somebody
true.
else that had tougher times.
Right.
And I often say that I'm gonna put a lock and key on my trouble because somebody might want to steal. And I get rid of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The situation is never as bad as it looks.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Because I have a friend, he said this to me, and his name is Patrick Hill. I don't have problems, I have beginnings of solutions.
It's for real.
And when he said that to me, that was a life-changing quote to me that I now try to live by. I don't have problems, I have beginnings of solutions. Because I can take that energy and focus all of this on, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or I can sit back and say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm trying to go, how do I get there?
Yeah. I say, there's no recession at my house. There's no recession at my house.
What's a recession?
And I speak those words. There's no. Y'all can have it.
We
I don't
all
need
have
it at
it.
my house. You know what I'm saying? I've never been broke. I've been bent.
Yeah.
It's how you think.
Yes.
You
It's
feel
all how you think about it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
How do you interpret your situation?
This is a temporary situation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what people got to remember.
Yeah.
The situation is only temporary.
And they have experienced that. It has changed. Might not change to what you wanted, but it has always changed. You
Always
go to sleep
changed.
and wake up.
Well, one thing I learned about life is that we all have peaks and valleys.
And
the
ups and downs.
You learn more in that valley than you do on that peak.
Say it again.
Exactly. We're always able to learn more from our failures than from our success.
Through our pain is where we
learn.
Yeah,
Pain is where the true knowledge comes from.
Right. Just like my turtle story in the book.
Yeah.
After you fell so many times.
But he learned how to climb though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He learned how to climb faster.
Feel pain anymore.
He said, I don't feel pain.
And my life alone,
I like that
up to
story.
today, I have a lot of peaks and valleys. I had make a lot of money and I have lost a lot of money. It's never easy. But I look at it from the bright side. I feel like I'm bulletproof.
Hey, bulletproof.
Not because I'm invincible, but because my body's full of holes.
And you're still here.
I'm still here. Think about the bright side. But even though I keep falling financially, health-wise, and everything else, but then I said to myself, aging is good.
Yep.
But life does not start until the age of 60. So I'm still a young baby now.
You know that's right.
As long,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, as long as we are able to find our own flaw,
Yeah.
regardless when, even though we keep falling, we continue to search for our balance. But once we find that flaw, we can always keep the chin up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep the chin up. We can always stand tall. Because once you get your feet on the level ground, you can start finding happiness. So never start trying to balance in your life. Regardless of the situation, we always can turn a negative impact into a positive outcome. Always. It never fails. It's up to you to make that decision.
That's right.
Totally.
Totally. That's
You
it.
decide. It's your
That's
decision.
it.
It's inside.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Yep.
What am I? You know, I had someone tell me. I said, well, what is the definition of success? Success is when preparation and opportunity meet. Opportunity always comes. Opportunity always knocks.
Yep. Sometimes somebody else answer the door. You let them.
And that's the problem right there. You let somebody else
Yes,
answer the door.
Yeah.
And the biggest mistake is it's the E, the education and happy life. It's too many of our children taking that education for granted.
Yeah. Totally.
And they're so afraid, especially nowadays, to fail. But without failing, how can they propel themselves to the next level?
Yeah.
You don't
Failure
learn.
is good.
Failure,
Because it means
thank you.
failure is good because it means you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Failure is good because you tried.
Yes.
My husband said, and he tells us, we talk a lot
Yes.
about stuff. He said, even when you fail a class, you learn something.
You learn something.
Yeah.
So but you got to be there though.
You have to be there.
You had to be there.
And yes.
And you have to keep trying.
Yes.
You have to keep trying.
But if
Yes.
you fail, one thing you learned is where you learn one thing, what not to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
If you didn't learn what not to do,
Yep.
or you learned what to
To
do,
do.
To do. Yep.
you still
Got to show
learn.
up. Got to be there.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all enjoy watching the show so far. It's exciting. A lot of energy from Shirley and my friend here, Keith. And it is very enjoyable. I have a great time just to listen and talk about all these great things. And let's go back to the book sense, common sense, and strict sense. We talk a little bit more about them.
Okay.
How can we help our younger generation to think about more studying, and how can we help them to develop better common sense? And you know, strict sense seems to be uncommon also, because nowadays everybody try to keep their children at home, have very little interaction, you know, with the neighbors. And so what do you think that what we need to do, or what kind of message we can send to our society, our listeners, so that we can benefit our children and students?
Well, on the book sense, if our younger generation can realize knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
And everybody wants to be powerful.
Absolutely.
But in order to get knowledge, it takes effort. You will get out what you put in. If you give 100%, you're going to get back 100%.
100% right.
My brother said this to me. If you don't know where you're going, any road you take will get you there.
Yeah, for real.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, just like the Rome, right? You know, if you want to get to the Rome, you know, there's many paths. I think the philosophy is about the same thing. Put your effort into it.
Put your effort into it. It takes effort.
It takes effort.
You know, if you put in the effort, you will reap a reward. Now, the question is, where do you want to go? You have to, at some point, decide, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. And start your journey. Now, the journey might not be easy. The journey might be hard. You might fall off the path. You get back on.
Get back on. I think that is important, because the journey itself is a life experience. Regardless where it takes us to, it always gives us a learning experience, and we should find joy along the way, regardless of our situation.
Yeah.
Man, joy comes from within.
Within.
Happiness comes from outside stimulation.
Okay, good.
So experience is important, but it always costs a lot. experiences cost quite a bit if it's based on what it is.
That's right.
You know,
that's why we need to share those experiences, so make sure that other people don't make the same mistake that we made.
And you know, one of the things that I remember, you say your brother said, my dad used to say all the time, you don't need 2 blisters to know that you've been burnt. Our young people don't seem to know that.
They don't understand that.
They don't seem to
how
know
many
how to
times
practice
you have to
that.
get burned
Yeah.
before you learn it's
that,
hot?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I say I don't have to get none if I see how you got yours, if I pay attention. But some people have to experience it, and that just seemed to be the way. Some people have to experience it. They won't listen, but I still think we need to say it. I think we still challenged to say it.
Right, and to educate and share our experiences, regardless if they listen or not.
Yeah.
Because the most important thing is that we try with our best effort.
Yeah.
Just like Keith said. Regardless they listen, or if anybody listen to our show or not, but it's our effort here to share our message with the general public.
Right. That's all we're responsible for.
That's all we can do. We do what we can do. We cannot ask for any results.
That's all.
If we can help one person tonight, it's wonderful. It's well rewarded.
Yeah.
But even though we are not able to, we know that we were doing the right thing. Time well spent. Because by talking to each other, regardless the listener or not, we benefit ourselves. By talking, entertaining, and listening, we all learn from our experiences. We become better persons, but just by being sitting here tonight to listen to each other.
You know, some of our younger generation feel that you can't teach me anything.
Yeah.
They have that, how can you teach me if you don't know what I'm going through? Yeah. But my struggles, my tribulations, back in my time was different from yours now.
That's right.
But pain is pain and struggle is struggle.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, the difference is you have to go through what you have to go through in order to learn. But what I can tell you is I can show you how to ease the pain.
Yeah, if you listen.
If you listen.
And apply.
And apply. When you apply, they're becoming the strict sense.
And that's where the street sense
that's where the strict sense come from.
There's an old saying, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Right.
Is guess what? Book sense, common sense, and street sense is the equivalent of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
And application.
They go together.
They all go together.
Yeah.
They all go together.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know, I thought that I learned a lot of wisdom from these distinguished guests, and I'm so in touch. And let me share another story, so maybe we can strike another conversation. One of my best friends, Joe, he taught English for 12th graders in one of the local high school. And he came to me and said, Chin, I don't know how should I react to this. I feel frustrated, but yet I feel helpless and unhappy. I said, what's wrong, Joe? He said, I yelled at one of my students a few days ago. And I said, well, you know, tell me what happened. He said, one of the girls sitting in the back of the room, she continued to talk to her friends. So I told her, please stop talking in the back of the room. So the common sense told me if I told her that she would stop talking. But then she said, Mr. Allred, you don't even hear what I had to say. So I think she had better strict sense than we do. So strict sense is not just something that we can learn from. Maybe one of the students that they want to defend themselves. So they talk back. To her, maybe she felt that is strict sense. But it certainly doesn't make any common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I told my friend Joe, I say, Joe, you should not feel sorry that you yell at your student. And then he responded to her, if you say another word, I'm going to send you to the principal, or you leave this room right now before I get upset. He said, I regret what I did. I said, all you did was just try to make a point. The classroom is your place that you want to continue to educate your students, not just one student. If you allow her to disobey and control the classroom, then you're not able to communicate and lead the rest of the students. So I thought, when you think about that, you sacrifice a little, you get upset, you send her to the, outside the room, or go to see the principal, and it's beyond what I call unhappiness, or, well, you know, the word I'm saying is not responsibility. I think it's your responsibility to do what you need to do. And instead of pointing finger to yourself saying, I probably had done the wrong thing, and second guess yourself. So common sense tells us, sometimes we have to sacrifice ourselves a little bit and know the things that we don't want to do for the betterment of the whole classroom and for the whole situation. I think that's something I would relate it to common sense. What do you think about that?
Think about what happens if you that same girl is on at a job or something. You know, he's teaching her something too.
Right.
You know, by him taking control back
Respect
to the class.
authority.
Respect authority. He'd given her an opportunity.
Right.
Told her about being quiet.
Right.
And from what I've learned, the young people expect it, but they don't get it because too many people are afraid to do what this teacher did.
Right.
Parents at home afraid.
Right.
You know, and aunts and uncles, nobody chastises or correct the young people because they are they're out trying to get another what is awning or something on the porch that they don't have time to set on how, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
We're so busy trying to do get those things that we think things make kids happy, so we're not giving them the verbal thing that he gave her.
Yes.
The kids, they say, I care enough about you to tell you this.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It seems to be lacking.
I can use my son for an example.
Okay.
My son is going through some things, and had a trouble early on. My son is only 12, and he has experienced more in his 12 years than he should have experienced in 30, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But he's in his class, because I visited him yesterday in D.C. He was in his class, and as I came into class, I looked at him, I said, what's wrong? He says, Mr. Webb ignored me. I asked him, could I go get some water? And I said, well, he ignored you. Then I said, we talked about it again today. And he said, well, the young lady said this and he let her go. This young man said that, he let him go. But me, he ignored. So I looked at my son, well, I was talking to him on the phone, I said, well, son, did they tell that man to shut up last week? He said, no. I said, but you did, didn't you? He said, yeah. I said, did you ever think that the relationship that you now have with this teacher, you created? You caused him to treat you like that.
Yeah, take ownership.
I said, you got my exact words. You have to take ownership for your actions.
For your own actions.
Yes.
And I
to
said,
receive a response.
Now what you need to do is, you need to reverse course, remain humble, show that man respect. And maybe next week you'll be able to get up and go get some water when you get thirsty. But in the meantime,
respect and humble.
Be
so
respectful
important.
and be humble.
Yeah. We have to bring those valuable lessons back to our society.
But
respect and humble. That's what I talked about last week. Respect.
Yeah. And what it is, I guess we could say people forget that there are consequences to every action.
Yes.
Yes.
The question is, what kind of consequence are you going to get? If your action is negative, there will be a negative consequence.
Absolutely.
Totally.
If your action is positive, there will be a positive consequence. This is the lesson I try to teach. I'm literally beating into his head because I tell it to him every day.
Yes,
well, I'm certainly know that he will learn from this lesson.
I hope so.
Yes.
Because he was thirsty yesterday. And I didn't save him. Because I could have brought him out in the hallway to get some water.
Let the audience know that you're beating him with your words.
Oh, yeah, I'm beating him with the words. And that's the other issue.
The other issue.
So
what is the other lesson?
This is a personal.
Okay.
I got beat by grandma, auntie, mom, dad.
You remember all that?
And any other parent in the neighborhood if I was doing something wrong.
That village raising a child.
The village raised the child. I grew up in that. So you can't go out here and sneak around and do this and do that and not have a consequence because somebody's mother saw you. And they calling your mother.
Yep.
So when you get home, mom meets you at the door. Why am I being grounded? Oh, you forgot what you did around the corner.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, word got back to me before you got home.
Yep. True.
Get in the room.
Yep.
You know, we were held responsible for our actions.
Yeah.
But now it's really our youth has to be responsible for their own actions. They have to take ownership of what they do. I've watched kids try to blame mama for this, daddy for that.
When they start doing that in their young age, you can see what are the consequences.
You see what's going on now. Just look around society. Step out your house, look down your street, and you can see the end result.
The end result.
You can see what's going on. You know, so it comes back to self. You have to be responsible for yourself.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about Tom, Dick, Mary, and Jane. Be responsible for you. Because you literally can control where you go in life. You got to make a conscious decision. You have to think about where you want to go.
Other people can do the same thing in that class, but you got to stand on
your own.
Yes, you.
And this is what I teach my son. If everybody else is talking, move to the other side of the room and be quiet. Because when the consequences come down,
you're gonna get it with the rest of them.
You won't get caught up in it.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, especially, you know, we have our own responsibility to help our next generations to compete with the global economy.
Yes.
The universal workforce, the worldwide competition.
Yep.
You know, and I think we need to help our children, and we have to help our children with respects, loving family and friends, and more importantly, go back to the basic principles of learning to help our children to develop their mindset. If they don't know how to count, I have seen some of my employees to add 3 numbers, and they add it from the right, from the left to the right.
Really?
Instead from the left to the
from right to
from
left.
the right to the left.
Yeah.
And they confused me.
And
I cannot even think about it right now by talking about it.
That new math.
Yes.
You know, the new math.
Yeah.
That's the answer that demonstrated. I was like, wow, they still got the right answer.
No, they don't get the right answer. There's a problem.
But see, there's some new math out there now.
Yeah, they add it from the left to the right.
And it's like they looking at the number and they're going from left to right. And, and I'm like,
some of them like that. Some of them like that, but not my.
But not this left to right. Left to right and got it wrong.
They're all wrong.
You didn't let them count your money, did you?
Well, not yet. Well, you know, the funny thing is that they don't understand why it was wrong. They added 3 times to get the right answer, they said. But when I was reminded to them that you have to add it from the cents to the dollar, not the other way around. And then all of a sudden that the school didn't teach me that.
Interesting.
Wow.
And about the writing, you know, nowadays, you know, people do not write the same way that we were taught.
Yeah.
And those are very basic skills. Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
You know, writing, the simple math are our basic skills. And we allow the computer, our phone, to dictate our learning.
Yeah.
And our mind is not using it. When you use it, it's become a better tool.
Right.
But when you stop using your brain, you're going to lose it.
You lose it, That's totally,
Dude, can I add to that?
Yes, please.
The human body is the only machine. The harder you work it,
the better
stronger
it gets.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
But the strongest muscle in our body is the mind.
It's the mind. Exactly. We only use 3% of our mind. Up to today.
Some of us
we are
don't
so
use that
smart.
much.
Some ain't using that much.
We are so smart
Not using that
with
much.
our new technology. But one thing I want to add to that, though, Keith, is that we think that we are smart, but we are not. Our ancestors, their sacrifices, their teachings, their experiences, they paved the way for us to give what we already have today. Without their experiences, without their teachings,
I say that all the time.
without their developments,
Yes.
we have nothing today. So this is our responsibility, it's our duty, and it's called for by God that we share our experiences and further to benefit our future generations. And now we are heading to the wrong way, and we have to stop it some way. Would you agree with me, ladies and gentlemen?
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, because we are heading the wrong way. Our children is getting smarter, but yet with less common sense.
What was that quote that you said?
Educated beyond our intelligence.
Hello.
Yes, hello?
He just said the same thing.
Yeah.
Say that loud so we can share it with our
Said the
audience.
exact
Yeah,
same
some
thing.
of us are educated beyond our intelligence, and my thing is that the only way that we are going to get it done is each one of us do it. You know,
Each one of us do it.
we have to do what we know is the right
One
thing.
person
one
at a time.
You remember the old cliche?
One person at a time.
You remember the old cliche? Each one teach one.
One.
Yeah.
Each one teach
Each
one.
one.
Each
Yeah.
one
Totally.
each one.
One
Yes.
teach
Each
one.
one.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, I think this is becoming a
That's
better
the only
world.
way to do it. You know, like
You know,
we got
I'm-
to take responsibility.
Always motivated, and I never look at the end result of my efforts because I listened and heard this story years ago. I'm sure that you probably heard it too also. But I want to remind myself and share the story with my audience and my quick friends here. Is that years ago, right after a major thunderstorm, thousands of fish, starfish, was washed off from the seashore. They all laying on the seashore awaiting certain to die. The old man and one young man walked along the seashore, and the older man picked up one fish and threw it back to the ocean. The young man said, "What are you doing, sir?" The older man said, "Well, I just want to save the fish." Young man jumped up and down and said, "There's thousands and millions of fish here. How can you make a difference?" The old man picked up another fish and then threw it back to the ocean and said proudly, "I make a difference to that one,
Yeah,
I made a difference to that one.
Yeah.
to that one."
Yeah.
So all we can do in life is we can help people one at a time, but our action and our experiences is going to be shared by the people who's watching, who is learning, like this child, or the people away from the beach that's seeing these actions. That is why human empathy, our personality never die, because we learn from all these lessons from our ancestors. And we want to thank God to give us this strength and power to continue our goodwill and continue to help our future generations and many generations to come.
I always say, you know, like I'm just reminding people of what they already know.
Right, that's all it is.
We've forgotten
That's it.
because of what you say. It says nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new.
So we are reminding each other of what we already know, and we have to be reminded now more than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of changes. We do things and we're not aware of what we are learning. Some things are inundated, you know, like the white noise that's around, you know, subliminal stuff. You hear things. We're sitting here with things from generations in our soul, in our
Right.
spirit. Some we don't even know of how we do, how we react. Something I'm doing, my grandmother might have done what I'm doing now. You're doing her hands like this. So we have to be more conscious of what we say.
Right?
We have to be more conscious of our actions, because what you do speaks so loud, I cannot hear what you say. And I found that true with my kids. I found that true with my kids. You know, I was married. My first one was an abusive person, and so people say they stay in a marriage because of the children. But if you stay there and that person is not a good person, you're not doing the kids any good.
Very true.
What you do speaks so loud, I cannot hear what you say. So the girls might think that they can't have a man unless it's like their daddy, because their daddy would have a lot of drama in that house. And so if they don't have somebody with drama, that's not somebody that they can deal with. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
I'm with, I truly understand that.
What you do
I've
speaks
dealt
so
with-
loud,
I've
I
dealt
cannot
with
hear
that.
what you say. They do what you do, not what you say. So the young people have to see something. I don't understand why people say, you know, like, I'm just going to use Tiger Woods. I wrote something in a program I was in about Tiger Woods and how he was a role model. I never understood why we pick somebody just because they can hit a ball to be a role model. I can't understand that. I think role model needs to start in the house, in your house, because you know what's in your closet. You don't know what's in other people's closet.
Right.
And when it comes out, you get all upset because you were a role model. No, at my house is where my role model for my kids started. And if I don't get that straight, You know, other people. Mr. Chin. I don't know how many closets you got at your house. You know, I don't know what you got hidden up in there.
Well, I tell you what, you know, I really have nothing in my closet. They're all in my backyard.
But you understand my point?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we pick these, you know, the young people pick these people to be role models, and then next thing you hear something is, you hear the human part.
Well,
the
that's
real
the
human
other
part
thing that
you know
I had learned, though. You know, nobody is a bad person. No one.
They just do bad things.
They just do bad things. So the bad people can be a role model 99% of the time.
Yeah, role model, what not to do.
But not to do.
Right. So
true.
allow anybody a second chance to rebuild themselves, to reorganize themselves, to share the experiences, so that people not to make that 1% of mistake that he made. So anyone can be a great role model. It's just a matter of that is he had the heart and the will to teach people and others what mistakes that he made or she made, and the best and benefit the society.
Well, if I have not been given a second, third, fourth, fifth chance, or however many chances, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Absolutely. We all make mistakes in life.
Totally.
We all do.
Yeah, totally.
You know, so Tiger Woods may not be a good model right now, but you know what? I think he learned his lessons. If he did,
we should learn from what he has done. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. We
you can learn from anything.
What he has done.
Yeah.
But in the same time, maybe years from now, he can use his story and tell other people about his mistakes, and he became a great role model once again. Just give him a second chance. Well, he's somebody that I admire also.
Yeah, and I admire a lot of people, but my thing is that in America, we always pick somebody else outside of ourselves.
Right. I know.
We should be
ourselves.
I'm telling you.
I watch get up 6:30 in the morning and go to work every day.
You know,
that is my role model.
That's in my house.
My dad was my role model.
Absolutely. You know, I did not approve what he did. I thought it's absolutely wrong.
I understand.
But you know, you know, the society from time to time they need somebody popular to give good example. Nobody knows what's behind his classes, just what you said.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think your philosophy is extremely important, that good family, good children start from home. From home.
Yeah, they can look on TV all they want, but they see in that house, you know.
That's right.
They see what you're doing. That's where it should start.
From home.
And then for the kids out there, if you don't have a role model, you be a role model for somebody else.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, today I had such a great time. This is one of my happiest days.
Oh,
it's almost my God. Yeah. Can you believe?
Oh my goodness.
Shirley, I want to thank you so much to come in and join us on the Happy Life Show.
Thank you for asking me to come. I appreciate that.
And it really meant so much to me. And you're such an inspirational. I always admired you, your philosophy, and your personality, and your leadership. And you are my role model.
Thank you. I got to look in that mirror.
I don't care what kind of thing you have in your closet. I don't care what you have in your closet. You are my role model.
Thank you, Mr. Chin.
And Keith, and I want to thank you so much for coming and share your wisdom and your philosophy and your quotes.
Yeah.
And they were just great. And I'm so thankful to having you as well, Keith. Thank you.
Pleasure for being here.
Shirley, thank you so much.
Same to you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you all.
Well, we appreciate y'all. I hope that y'all can come back soon and join us. Or if you have your show, please include me someday.
Okay.
It will be my honor to attend.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening again. And I want to thank you for watching. We had such a great time. Shirley T. Burke and Keith Harrison. And they are just wonderful motivational speakers and person. And as I introduced them in the beginning of the show as such, and I hope that after the program is over, you felt the same way that I felt, that these are great inspirational friends that anybody can have. And once again, we thank you so much. You all have a good night and live a happy life.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.